Hey gents, today we're going to get up close and personal with my everyday bag. This is the Tumi Alpha Bravo backpack, which I wear every day to and from the office, to and from Europe, to and from the times I have to drive to Baltimore, and we're going to get into every inch of it. One could say it does not behoove a gentleman to wear a backpack, which I would agree with, especially with a suit, which ends up happening sometimes because that's just the way things go. This is a program within my company that, you know, top performers get one of these bags and everybody uses the bags, and it's a thing in the company. So not my first pick for what I would wear. I wouldn't mind having the briefcase version of this because I love the bag overall. But anyways, we're gonna dive into everything that I keep in here for every trip. I put this on the scale this morning. It's a heavy bag when it's full. It's not a heavy bag when it's empty, but it's 14 pounds, and so I definitely know that I could eliminate some things, and luckily it is ergonomic having the backpack versus like a satchel or a shoulder, because if it was 14 pounds, whatever. We're gonna dive into this. Make sure you subscribe to learn about the best menswear on the internet, and let me know down below how crazy you think I am after seeing all the bags. Let's go over to a different view. I thought we'd start off with my EDC, which is simply right front pocket iPhone, right back pocket wallet, left back pocket my key, and then left front pocket my AirPods. So this is just every day, no matter what, these are always in my pockets. And here we have my Tumi bag. Now, like I said, I prefer to carry something like the Satchel and Page Gladstone, which I did a video on. Actually, if I had to pick one, it would be that Port series that I do have. But like I mentioned, this is my daily for now. So what you're going to see in here is the physical manifestation of my personality, which is my desire to be a minimalist and just carry a few good or few nice things, contrasting that with being raised by Depression era hoarding grandparents and being ingrained in Boy Scouts to live by the motto of always be prepared. My goal with this bag is to have everything in it that I need for most trips. I don't like to unpack and repack things. I don't like to take out my computer charger when I get home and switch it at the office. I have one charger at the office, one charger in this bag that always stays in here for travel. Same thing with my passport always being in here, and some international chargers. But let's go through each pocket and talk about what is inside, and maybe I'll eliminate some things after going through this exercise. So in this pocket, not very easy to access. I keep an Easy Pass in here, which is great. I use this for traveling. I drive to nearby cities, Cleveland, Baltimore, New York from Pittsburgh, so I always have that available in my bag. I don't want to take it out of my car and everything, so I just keep one in here. In this pocket, this is like my emergency power pocket, so I do keep this is a small in-case battery charger in here. The USB cable is on here to charge it, and then there's a USB slot so I can plug anything in here. I use this very frequently when I'm traveling. And then in here I have a full international adapter, which works for, I don't know, 90% of countries. It's got US, UK, China, Australia, Europe. It's got all of these different adapters. I actually find that this works really well on planes. Plugs are so worn out that the USA adapters don't really work on them, so it works really well to either put the European or the UK adapter in there. So I really like having this, 2 USB ports right here on the side, and you can plug in nearly anything to this side, plug it nearly into anywhere, and so I really like this. This is my loop. And then in this bag, I keep an adapter which has various chargers. So you have your USB port, and you can either charge your mini USB, micro USB, lightning, or the old 30 pin. I find this to be very helpful. And then chapstick, Burt's Bees. Over on this outside pocket, this is like my emergency prepared kit. So I spend a lot of time in airports, and I want to have things that I can eat that aren't airport food. So I do have some Quest bars. I know they're not the best for you, but it's better than McDonald's in my view. So I have a few bars, and then I have a very small first aid kit with some Band-Aids. I have some chamomile tea for when I travel. I got some chocolate and gum. I can probably get rid of some of this stuff, and then some Tylenol. So this is like my emergency little kit here. On this outside pocket, I've got a huge pack of gum. I always eat gum. And there's nothing else in there. And then I'll get to this outside pocket after I open up the inside, because it's going to be tough to open right now. So as we go into the big pocket, I don't always keep my iPad in here. So right now I have my iPad in here because I'm about to go on a trip, but I always keep my 13-inch MacBook Pro on the outside. So I have the 13-inch MacBook Pro in BookBook, and I have the iPad Pro 12.9-inch in here right now. But I basically, anytime I'm on the road, I have both of these, and so I have them both in there right now. Then in the big pocket, we have a sleeve. This is my Evernote Moleskine with Moleskine pen. Use that a lot. And then down here, this is another. This is actually from like Gentleman's Box or Sprezza Box. This is like a task manager versus a note-taking place. So I use this as tasks. And this is my gadget kit. We'll get into this in a minute. This is where I keep a lot of my cables, all of my cables. Everything goes in there. I keep a portable microphone for the podcast and maybe some last minute recording things. I also use this for like work calls because it sounds so good. And then in here I have an umbrella, which is perfect. I get caught in the rain in many different cities and things, so I always have an umbrella in here. This is probably one of the weightier parts of my bag, but I find it to be invaluable to have on the ready. It just fits right in the bottom of the bag very easily. Before we get into my little gadget kit, on this outside pocket, I have some wet ones, gonna keep things clean. I have a Tide to Go pen, another small Moleskine for notes. I really like having these like pocket size ones. This is for random things versus like work related things. And then here I have my Bellroy passport holder. So I always have my passport in this bag. There's been times where I've had to go on an international trip without even having time to go home. So I always like to keep this in here in case I need to go international, but also so I don't have to ever look for it. It's always in this bag, and this bag is always on me. And then I have a BART card, I have my Metro card, and some business cards all in this slot. And it has a small pen, which is really nice for like customs forms. And then I have some pens in this pocket as well. So that is the whole bag. And yeah, it's nice and light when there's not a whole ton of stuff in there. So we can get into my gadget bag because I got some cool stuff in here too. My gadget bag is always full of this stuff. I don't really take things out. I only use it on the road. The bag itself, I think they gave to us at an event at work one time, but has everything that I need for anything. So in here, this is my MacBook Pro charger, USB-C and USB-C cable. On top, I have the 12 South plug bug, which I absolutely love. Not only do I get a USB port here on the back to charge another device, so I can charge my iPad or iPhone while charging my computer, but this part here snaps off and I can put on international adapters. So I have the European one in here at all times. There's also one for UK and other countries, but the European one I usually keep on hand because I've traveled to Europe more than any other country. I can grab the UK one from a drawer over here, but that's just really convenient to switch on and off because then outside of using that other universal charger, it's really nice to have that. This is ground by, I think it's called the Cordito. This is where I keep 2 lightning cables, micro USB, which works on both the away, so I can charge the battery, and then also on my little microphone, and then I have an extra pair of headphones in here, so keep those at all times. I have all my adapters for like projectors, USB-C to HDMI and VGA, and then some USB stuff over here. I've got, I got 2 of these HDMI ones. One of those belongs on my desk at work. Straight USB. You gotta have all these adapters with the new cables. I also have this one, which I need to keep backups of HDMI because there's been a number of times I go to companies and the HDMI port doesn't work, so I have to switch to this one and this one works, or vice versa. But this adapter I really like for the MacBook Pro. It has 2 USB-C ports, and then it gives you HDMI, SD card, 2 USB, micro USB, and even micro SD. So this is a cool little adapter for that. Keep my Bose QC, I think these are QC30s, right? I don't go on a plane without these. These are absolutely indispensable for almost any flight, but long flights especially. Noise canceling, earbuds, nice and small. And so those are indispensable. And then I keep, this is one of those like air vent phone things. So I use this in rental cars. This is a dual USB port car adapter, so I can charge my phone in rental cars. And then inside of here, there's a zipper pocket where I keep like cleaning cloths for screens, and then in this other zipper pocket I have some earbuds. I have a headphone splitter, which I've I don't think I've used this in 3 or 4 years, but I like to have it in case I need it. And then I have a little USB, this USB stick, which is from my i3. So this is 64 gigabytes or something. So a little USB stick in here. Oh, and I've been looking for this SD card. I've needed to find that. So I have an SD card in here, which I need to leave in the studio. So that is my gadget bag and all of the accoutrement that I believe a road warrior needs. If there was one thing that I could eliminate from this, it would be some of these adapters, because I haven't used this USB one. I could probably ditch this. I can ditch this one, but otherwise, gotta have all this stuff at all times, because I end up using at least one part of it on most trips. And so I like to have it nice and organized in this bag versus floating around the rest of the Tumi bag. So there you have it, gents. That is my everyday carry. Functionally, it's a briefcase, but I like to keep this thing nice and full. After 4 years of traveling with this setup, the first 2 years I was in a briefcase, in a satchel and page briefcase, and then I switched to this when I got this from my company. I do really like the Tumi bag itself. This is an old model. This is the Alpha Bravo. They stopped making this exact model, but they make something very similar to it now. I see it in a lot of airports. Well, it seems like a lot of business guys have it, but I think functionally it's great. It's very durable, very rugged, and it should be, because I think it was like $500. And so that is my everyday carry. Got my initials right here. As you can see, I love the leather accents on this. I'm really into the bag. It's just the backpack itself I'm not totally fond of. And so that is everything. And if you have any questions, comments, queries, everything else down below, you can also reach out at @_Kavalier on Twitter and Instagram. Love to hear from you guys over there. Until next time, gents, this is the Kavalier. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. Make new friends, keep the old.